everybody, it's me, Jill, and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills, Season 10, Episode 3, First Impressions, True Confessions. We are still very, very early into the season. This is only the third episode, but I can tell you right now, I am loving the energy that Season 10 is bringing. I don't care if it's fake. I don't care if it's contrived. I don't care if somebody told them to act a certain way. I don't care. I like the softer side of Erika. I like Dorit this season so far. I'm loving Dorit. Kyle, I'm loving to hate Kyle. And I never used to hate her. I'm still not sure I'm at the hate level yet, but I'm getting there. But I love to hate her. It isn't like I don't want to watch this show anymore because I hate her. No, you guys know how I feel about my sweet, sweet Sutton. She is a ridiculous villain with a sharp tongue, and she is the most exciting part of a really pretty exciting season so far. I don't know. My point is, I hope you guys are loving it as much as I am. And let's just get started. Okay, we open with PK in the hot tub with his phone. Dorit was complaining that one of them has to work. And he said, "Come join me, babe. I'm making important decisions in here." Okay. Then we see Kyle coming home from North Carolina. She was filming for one of the sequels to Halloween. I guess, I don't watch scary movies. I probably saw Halloween when it first came out, but Kyle was a kid in it. I don't remember that. Anyway, she's reprising the role she played then. So I don't know how long she was gone. Mauricio's got welcome back Kyle balloons and let's make sure the house is perfect for mom. And so either it's been a really, really long time or they just overdo everything and it's only been a couple weeks. I don't know. I do remember something about her saying, okay, after New York Fashion Week, then I have to go right to North Carolina and film the movie. So I know she's been gone since New York. I just don't know if it's been has it been a month? Maybe. Right away, she said, okay, so tomorrow night I'm having 16 people over with all her friends. You guys, is that going to be with a dinner where we see the psychic? Maybe. Oh, why can't we have Alison Dubois on again? That was so delightful to me. First of all, I don't know how many of you ever watched Medium, but my husband and I used to watch Medium religiously. I loved that show. So Camille and Kelsey were behind the production of that. Camille got to know the real Alison Dubois because they were constantly consulting with her for the series. So I was so excited to meet the real Alison Dubois because I just fell in love with the character portrayed by Patricia Arquette. Then we got to meet the real Alison Dubois. She was delightful in a Sutton kind of a way. If you know what I mean. She was constantly with it wasn't vaping. It was before vaping. I don't know if you guys remember what I'm talking about. There'd be a blue light at the end when you would suck on it. But I don't feel like smoke came out. I don't remember. And I don't know if it was a device for people who were trying to quit smoking or I don't know, but she was constantly sucking on that. And then all hell broke loose. The ladies left. And I just remember her parting words to Kyle were, "I know exactly when and how you're going to die. And I love that about me." So good. So good. Anyway, that was a long way for me to get around to the point of, even if this is the dinner with the psychic, that psychic will be no Alison Dubois, I'm sure. Next, we follow Erika to her vocal coach's home. He's got her doing all these exercises to warm up. Granted, I have never been to a vocal coach myself, but I think maybe he's just trying to make a fool out of her. Because at one point, he's telling her to put her hands out like a lion and stick her tongue out. And thinking, does she really have to do that for her voice? Maybe. In her confessional, she said, I know it's ridiculous, but it's working. Okay, Erika is taking this like opening up on camera thing to a whole new level here. Now we get another little story about her mom. Now, she did go home and have that chat with her mom. That was 3 seasons ago, maybe. But this is just another example now. The vocal coach said, think back to the first time you sang when you thought to yourself, oh, people really liked what I just did there. And she said, not only can I remember that, but I can remember the first time I sang with the opposite feeling. Then in her confessional, she tells us that she was like 7 years old and she was on stage singing, and then she was trying to hit a note, and so she like went into her head voice and sang that note, and she could hear her mother laughing, and it just stuck with her. Her mother's constant disapproval, I guess. I guess she was 11 because she said, my mother was tough, my mother was critical, and my mother was competitive, but she always told me the truth. You could definitely see how that shaped the Erika that we see today, right? Next, we are in a restaurant with Lisa Rinna and Teddy. I think they might be waiting for Sutton. I'm not sure. They talked about Sutton liking the restaurant because it was Southern food or something like that, but I don't know if she's going to join them later or not. But right now they're talking about Amelia, and Teddy asked, did she come home? Because if you remember last week, she was struggling in New York. She got into the new school. She got an apartment and everything, but having like a full schedule of classes at school and working was proving to be like too much for her. So anyway, Teddy asked her, did she come home? And Lisa said, yeah, she did. In Teddy's confessional, she said, it's so hard to not voice my opinion because I disagree with Lisa. When I was going through a similar tough time, my parents made me stay in California. And that turned out to be the right thing to do. But you can't tell somebody else how to parent. Yeah, you can't. Not only that, you don't know what's right for Amelia, and you should stay out of it. Oh yeah, my girl Sutton's coming because she just flitted in like a little fairy, apologizing for being late. And Teddy said, oh, Sutton, that gift bag you gave everybody, I am just dying. And she goes, oh, you liked it? And in Rinna's confessional, she's like, okay, the gift bag just made Sutton go up like 5 notches in everybody's book because like this clutch, and she's showing the clutch in her confessional, and it's so cool because it has this almost like this fingerless glove attached to it so that when you're holding it, you look like you're wearing this glove that like laces up like a corset. It's pretty cool. Anyway, Lisa's saying this has got to be about $1,000 for just that one thing. She goes, I don't know, maybe 5 to 1,000? I would say 1,000. Then the Chiron shows Perrin, I don't know how to pronounce that, Perrin Paris Clutch, 1860. Okay, so now we're talking about Teddy's retreat. And Sutton said, what time should I be there? And Teddy goes, well, listen, whenever you want is fine. And she goes, well, I mean, at my party, you said you didn't even care if we came or not. I mean, if I'm going to come, I hope you care if I'm there. Here's the thing. A lot of you guys mention this in your comments, and you are exactly right. Teddy is really sensitive, and I think she's trying to protect herself from being let down if the ladies don't come to one of her functions. She doesn't want to get her feelings hurt, so she is immediately saying, I don't care if you come or not. That's like kind of a self-fulfilling prophecy, right? Because if somebody invited me and said, whether you're there or not, Jill, doesn't matter to me at all, I'm not going. I'm telling you that right now because I probably didn't want to go in the first place. If you're going to go out of your way to explain to me that you don't care if I'm there, I'm not going to go. So it was very, very awkward the way Teddy was. Sutton goes, I'm going to write you a note card. And Teddy goes, a note card? And she goes, yeah, saying, I really want you to come. But if you can't be there, I understand. Well, you're a lot more proper than I am. she's just so awkward. Poor Teddy. Okay, now everyone is arriving for Kyle's dinner party. Teddy and Edwin get there first. Dorit is right behind them. PK was invited, but he's doing, I don't know, Boy George has an event or something like that. And now we see Rinna and Erika in the car. They're pulling up. Those two have become fast friends, haven't they? If you follow them on Instagram, they seem to really enjoy each other. In any case, Erika, I think, said, I can't imagine coming to this dinner sober. And they're laughing. They're drinking in the car. Dorit and Lisa Rinna both brought their clutches from the gift bag that Sutton gave everybody. Although I think Dorit's is leather, but I think Lisa's is patent leather. Unless it's just the angle, but definitely Rinna's looked shiny. Oh, goodness, this is not a good episode for mom stories. Now Denise and Erin arrive, and Denise is getting out of the car, and she's like, oh. She's still in a lot of pain from the hernia surgery. And in her talking head, she goes, I'll never forget when I was a kid. I literally sliced open the side of my leg, and my mother just sat there with a cigarette in her hand and hosed me down and said, you'll be fine. And I was. Eventually. Yeah. Some tough childhoods here. Okay, so Sutton does arrive, and she has this dress on. I mean, listen, this is a dress. It's a red dress. It says Queen of Love, almost like the front of a playing card. But it's very ornate and jeweled, and it doesn't look bad on her because it's kind of A-line, and I think that's perfect for her. She looks great in something sleeveless, but the dress itself, I mean, you know, it's kind of like out there. You know me, I like wild things, like I just do. So I think it's kind of cool. In any case, people are like, oh, where'd you get that? Or who's that? And she said, it's just ready to wear, Dolce. Rinna's like, oh, it looks couture. No. Teddy says to Erika, what is ready to wear? And then Rinna and Erika say, oh, it's what we all wear. It's just ready to wear is just the clothes we have now. And Erika's like, yeah, it's not couture. But it doesn't matter. I just like that Erika just wears whatever she wants. And she's like, Sutton's groove, Erika's groove. Yeah, not the same thing. Erika is definitely put off by Sutton constantly talking about what's couture and what isn't. Because at her party, at Sutton's store opening, she was all about that too. Oh, thank you, it's couture. I would hate that too, but of course... because it's Sutton, I love it. Because every bad thing she does just makes her better. Okay, people are still arriving. We have the morally corrupt Faye Resnick, and then Garcelle comes in, and she's got just a white blouse, but then she's got this voluminous, like, black tulle skirt. It's gorgeous. She looks gorgeous, and everyone's like oohing and eyeing, and she does a little spin. And then Kyle sees her. Kyle, who's wearing a white blouse and I guess black leather pants, I don't know, goes, oh, look at us. We look. And she's making this gesture like we're twins. No, you're not twins. Because Garcelle looks couture and you look like you might be catering this dinner. No offense. Okay, now it's time for everyone to sit down, and Kyle mentions that there is no assigned seating, and as we know, that is not Sutton's favorite thing to hear. Everyone heads to the table, they all sit down, and then Sutton is standing there, and she goes, well, this is just exactly what I was afraid was going to happen. I don't know where to sit. I'm very uncomfortable. And Kyle goes, oh, well, I don't want you to be uncomfortable. All right. So she jumps up and she arranges for her to sit down next to Teddy, which Teddy had said earlier. She doesn't care about seating. She just doesn't want to end up next to me. And of course, that's where she ended up. Anyway, Dorit said, I would just like to speak on behalf of everyone and say, welcome home, Kyle. And then everybody claps. Poor Denise really looks like she's in pain, and I feel like she should have skipped this dinner. I mean, knowing that she kind of skips most of the season, I'm glad she's there, but, you know, The girl just had surgery. Kyle makes a speech, and she said, you know, my daughter asked me, what is this dinner for? And I said, it's to welcome me coming home. But also, it's to thank my husband for doing such a stellar job with the family while I was gone. Earlier, we just had a little scene with Mauricio and Portia, and he goes, you weren't late that often, were you? And she's like, yeah, Dad, I would say I was late to school about twice a week. Stellar job. So then Garcelle said, oh, so does that mean he's going to get some tonight? Kyle, I can't remember. I think Kyle said, oh, well, that's always on the table or something like that. Sutton, oh, well, that's not dinner conversation. Teddy, well, come on. Well, what kind of conversation is it? Then Lisa Rinna, Sutton's friend, suggests, why don't we play a game? Why don't we, ask a question and go around the table? And Garcelle goes, yeah. Sutton goes, oh, gosh. Here's the game. And let me just preface it with what could go wrong. The game is that the ladies, just the ladies, not the guys or anyone who's not important, like, I don't know, the morally corrupt Faye Resnick, will go around the room and say their first impression of someone and then what they think of them now. Kyle starts not by saying what her first impression is, but by saying, I'll go first. Garcelle, I didn't realize how fabulous you were. And I honestly, you're just so chic and just so glamorous. And Garcelle's like, well, thank you, Kyle. Except you're missing the part about what was your original thought of her then, which seems to imply to me that you didn't think much of her. So Garcelle picks Lisa Rinna. Her first impression of Rinna was, who the hell is that bitch? They're not playing the game right because there is no now my impression. It's just, I don't know, all Garcelle ends up saying is what you see is what you get. And Rinna's like, thank you. In Rinna's confessional, she goes, this is the perfect game for Beverly Hills. We all just compliment each other and we all just smile. Yeah, I agree. That's what's happening, and it's boring. When is it going to be Sutton's turn? Rinna picks Erika. I guess maybe they are just doing the person to their right and going around the table. I thought they could pick anyone. Okay, my first impression of Erika was I'm scared of this person because she's so freaking fabulous. Okay. Oh, my girl Sutton, in her talking head, she goes, what the heck? Oh, my first impression of you is that you're really pretty. And now you are really pretty. I love it. You guys, when you watched that scene, you had to be thinking, oh my God, Jill is going to love this, right? Not to assume that you're thinking of me when you're watching TV. But you should be. Erika gets Dorit. When I first met you, I couldn't understand anything you said. I was so confused. At least she's being a little more real than the other saccharine, sweet, Now I've come to know you as one of the sweetest, kindest, and people don't know how much of a friend you really are. Dorit, oh, thank you, Erika. To Dorit's left is Denise. Miss Denise, you are one of the easiest people I've ever connected with. Kind, genuine, down to earth. Denise goes, thank you. Finally, Mauricio goes, you guys are all so sweet. These are not the same girls I know. Oh boy. Well, poor Denise is stuck with Sutton. How many times have these two even seen each other? Denise said, Sutton, when I first met you, with you and all your fashion, I thought, okay, this girl's not going to like me at all with my jeans and tank tops. Okay, now it's getting awkward because Denise has no idea what to say, what she thinks of her now. Because I think she's still in the first phase. She said, but you're so down to earth. Sutton? Denise, did the painkillers kick in? You're talking about Sutton. You want to walk back that down to earth comment? And it's nice to get to know you, and I'm just so thrilled that you're here. That was more painful than her hernia incision. But now it's Sutton's turn, and to her left is Teddy. I'm so not nice. Teddy goes, Sutton, okay, I'm going to be very honest. I thought that, Teddy, maybe you were going to be a little boring. And Teddy goes, okay. Then Sutton goes, I'm sorry, are we supposed to be honest or not? And Kyle's like, well, yeah. Erika, go right ahead. Speak for yourself, Erika. She's talking about poor Teddy. Well, that was my first impression. And then pregnant, oh, God help us. Okay. But you're way more interesting than I thought. I didn't know the depth of who you were. I mean, we're getting all these reaction shots, but am I missing something? Because it wasn't nearly as bad as I thought. All she said was, I thought you were boring, but you're actually not. There's a lot more depth to you than I originally thought. I don't think it's that bad. But everybody's making that kind of reaction. And Teddy said, I'm confused. Like, did I upset you or something? Like at your party? And then we get the whole flashback to the dinner that they had the other day. And again, Teddy's wrong about that. Teddy gave a very awkward invitation to everybody. And Sutton, I think, maybe because they just met, Sutton shouldn't have said anything. But I think it was perfectly reasonable for Sutton to say, if I go to your party, I hope you want me there. I'm oddly feeling like I'm kind of on Sutton's side here. And Teddy goes, well, you didn't like that I said, I don't care if you come to my retreat or not. And Sutton said, well, yes, I thought it was a little bit strange for you to say that kind of thing to your friends. Teddy goes, well, let me make it really easy for you. Don't come. You see what I mean? Isn't that kind of on Teddy right now for being super weird and rude? Sutton goes, well, maybe I won't. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't. And Renna goes, well, I did say I was happy I didn't have to come. And Garcelle goes, and I said I didn't want to come. Okay. I mean, well, now I'm feeling a little sad for Teddy, and she's trying to hold it together. And Garcelle goes, oh, no, she's getting upset. Come on, everyone, she's about to cry. And Teddy goes, no, I'm not. But she is. Just no, I'm pregnant, you guys. Please just kind of cut me some slack. And then the morally corrupt Faye Resnick leans over and said, don't worry about what they're saying. Kyle gets up and comes around behind Teddy and gives her a hug. Teddy's like, if nobody wants to come, don't come. Quick shot over to her husband, Edwin. Yeah, he's just eating. So now Teddy gets up from the table and she goes, everybody attacks me for being uptight, but you just keep coming at me and at me and at me, and I'm trying to be chill. Kyle leads her out of the room. In Dorit's confessional, she goes, only someone who is incapable of being chill can mouth the words, I'm trying to be chill. And finally, Edwin picks his head up from his dinner and realizes that his wife is not in the room. So now he gets up too. Teddy collects herself. She comes back to the table. Sutton apologizes. They almost get into it again, but it gets cut short. And Kyle said, okay, you know what? We're leaving the husbands out of it. So Erin, Denise's husband, Erin, does something very different. I would say cutting edge, maybe. But Erin, can you tell us a little bit about what you do for a living? Erin's job is, as near as I can tell, is somewhere between a fitness instructor and a CIA agent. All I know is that he can't talk about it that much. It's very hush hush. Okay, so Erin says, everything that you've been taught about disease process and stuff isn't true. Dun dun dun. I do try to give everyone the benefit of the doubt, but I can tell you right now, Erin is the guy you don't want to be stuck talking to at a dinner party. Because you just know, like, once you get started, he's not going to stop, and then you're going to be stuck with him the whole night. I literally can't stress how slow he's talking because this video would be 2 hours long. But there's another pause of about 30 seconds, and he says, I have to be careful. And Kyle's like, well, just try, just explain. And he goes, at the age of 12, holy crap. I was living next to the world's largest nuclear plant. I watched everybody die of cancer. I couldn't understand why we could split an atom with sound and cause a nuclear explosion. If you look at an atom, there's lots of space, right? Neutron, proton. Everyone's like looking as confused as I feel right now, except Mauricio, who's sitting next to him. Yeah, there's a lot of space. Yeah. You don't know that, Mauricio, any more than the rest of us do, sir. It's like, yeah, so there's all this space, but it's oscillating at a frequency that appears to be real in our reality. Erika. And then he goes, does that make sense? Mauricio, yeah. Kyle. Bull Kyle. I can't go any further with this, mostly because I can't retain it. I don't remember exactly what he said, and I don't understand any of it anyway. So it's something to do with now, and it heals you. I don't heal anyone, by the way, he says. I remove blocks, discord, information. Okay, at this point, Rinna loses it. I was wondering who would be the first one to break down. Yeah, it's Rinna. In Rinna's confessional, she said, my husband has been involved with fusion energy for 30 years. And I'm trying to wrap my brain around what Erin is saying. Oh, okay. Erin ruptured his Achilles tendon. In 2 months, healed. No surgery. In Garcelle's confessional, she goes, this party started off awkward, and then it got bizarre, and then it got more bizarre. And then she goes, cuckoo. We've moved on to the fact that there's cancer in every one of us. We all have cancer inside of us. So then this guy, I don't know even who he's friends with, I guess Kyle, he said, should you be even talking about this? Because I'm thinking like Big Pharma, and they start getting up from the table, or Denise does. And she goes, there's people following us. And Erin goes, I have people following me all the time. Oh my God. Denise, did you go from the frying pan into the fire? Come on, you just shed tiger blood Charlie Sheen from your life. And now this? So Denise said that they get followed all the time because Erin is healing people all the time. And I don't know, Big Pharma, insurance companies, I don't know. They don't want people to know about these miraculous results. Okay. Cancer is your best friend that is inside your body protecting you. It's like if it wasn't there, you'd be dead in 12 hours. It's your best friend protecting you from a bullet in the head. That's what cancer is. Denise comes back and she wants him to stop talking about it. And he goes, I don't give a shit. And she goes, I give a shit. It's for our safety. Stop. Before he started talking, Lisa, I think, said that Yolanda Hadid went to him. And I mean, honestly, I don't know if he cured her of her Lyme disease or not, but who knows? Okay. Then Erin goes, "You're protected," to Denise. And then he looks at Mauricio and he goes, "She's protected." Oh my God, you freak. I don't even care what you do for a living or if it's real or if it's some kind of mumbo jumbo, crazy pseudoscience. I don't even care about that. I care about how weird you talk. I can't stand it. You talk like you are so full of yourself, like every word that leaves your mouth is something that people should ponder for hours. No, stop. Thank God somebody's like, "Let's guess the sex of Teddy's baby." And Dorit's like, "Yay!" That's how desperate everyone was to change the subject. All right, Denise is not feeling well. Can only imagine. No, from her surgery. And so they say their goodbyes. And then everyone is going now into the other room to do a fireball shot. Fireball, fireball. Girls, this is not Orange County. I have never seen the ladies of Beverly Hills do a fireball shot before. Have I? Okay, so now Teddy and Edwin are leaving and she says her goodbyes. Everyone hugs her. Sutton hugs her. Teddy's not real receptive. It's pretty chilly on her end. And they leave and Sutton goes, "I have a problem now." And they're like, "What? What's your problem?" And she said, "She's pissed at me." And Dorit said, "I don't think she has a reason to be." I'm with Dorit. I don't think Teddy has a reason to be pissed at Sutton. In the game, she was the most honest, but it ended well. "I thought you were boring, and then I found out you're not. You're very interesting." Not a problem. Should not have been a problem. What she said about the way Teddy invited everybody, Sutton was spot on with that. It was weird and awkward. It makes people feel uncomfortable, and it makes people feel like you really are hoping they say no. That's no way to invite people to something. All right, so the ladies end up just all saying their goodbyes, going home. Now it is the next day, and Kyle pops over to visit Sutton. And I think this is the first time we're seeing Suttons house. It's beautiful, of course, except she has a cat, and Kyle is highly allergic to cats. Side note, Sutton's shirt. It's an oyster print. And then in each of the oysters is like a little pearl is sewn. I mean, the idea of that is like kind of cute, except not all over would I want that. And also, I wouldn't want that. Those oysters are so ugly. Meanwhile, Teddy is meeting Erika for lunch at like an outdoor cafe. Side note, has Teddy worn anything other than a romper so far this season? Let me know in the comments. My guess is no. I can't think of a single time. Right before we cut to them, Sutton said, "I have nothing to apologize for." I thought I was saying something nice to her at the party. I have absolutely nothing to apologize for. Now we're with Teddy and Erika. Teddy says that the thing that really bothered her, she goes, "The boring thing, whatever, I don't care." But when she said that comment about me being pregnant, and she's pregnant, like that's something bad, I mean, that really bothered me. Okay, my bad, because I kind of forgot about that part. That part was hilarious. Thank you, Sutton. But also, yeah, I could see how that would hurt. But also, I don't know, that was part of the first impression thing. And she could have kind of even passed that off as, yeah, but I was just thinking, oh, well, she's not going to be able to drink with us and stuff like that. Not that being pregnant is so horrible. But Erika, of course, is siding with Teddy here. Yeah, and then for her to just put it out there and then bring it back, no, you said it, you meant it. Back with Sutton and Kyle, Sutton said, "And she told me at your house, I don't want you to come." Kyle opens her eyes wider than I've ever seen them. And I don't know why, because Kyle, you were at the table when she said it. Why are you acting like you didn't know this happened? Kyle's like, I think maybe she didn't mean it like that. Cut back to Teddy and Erika. Teddy said, I don't need that kind of energy there when I'm having one of these retreats. It needs to be positive experience. People are paying a lot of money to be there. I just want it to be a very good experience. Erika said, well, then maybe tell her not to come. And she goes, I did tell her I don't want her there. And Erika goes, oh, you guys were at the table. How does nobody know this? Back to Kyle and Sutton. Kyle has talked Sutton into going. Yeah. Sutton's like, well, all right, I'll go. And Kyle goes, oh, yay. Sutton says, should I text her that I'm coming? Just kind of warn her. Cut back to Teddy and Erika. Erika, do you want her there or not? Teddy, no. And that is where this episode ends. I'm still having a blast with it all. I hope you guys are too. I'm so glad you're here. If you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it and leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. And I'll be back next week for the next recap of The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. I hope you join me. Bye.